is a clear distinction that it's a separate dwelling. So things that make it a separate dwelling would obviously be that separate entrance, but then it's also blocked off from the main house.
Yep.
Blocked off means it can lock from both sides, right? So just like a basement door at the bottom of the stairs, that's lockable. That makes it a separate entrance, a separate dwelling. And so that's the difference between a mother-in-law apartment versus a legal ADU that I can actually count as income.
Because you're not blocking your mother-in-law off from accessing your part of the house.
Yeah. Yes, that's right.
And I have a quick story to add to this. So there was a real estate agent. Again, I'm not trying to like shame them per se, but it's just a good example of being a special.
It's a good thing to just keep in mind.
Yeah, and it's also to protect them. So they bought a home. It was a flip. They partnered with someone and they advertised it as a house hack. And then it was in a very popular town to live in, but it was caught very fast that it was actually only a mother-in-law apartment. It was not zoned for an ADU. So they actually listed it incorrectly, had to fix it, redo it all, and that totally condensed the amount of buyers that could actually buy this because house hackers wanted it, but when they found out it wasn't legal, they're like, nah, actually, I don't want that headache. It's actually a mother-in-law apartment. So it's just important to make sure you do your due diligence because, like you said, just because someone on Zillow says, hey, check out this house hack, doesn't mean you can actually house hack it.
Yes.
I think that's a really valid point. You have that due diligence period in your contract for a reason, right? And so going through, hey, what are the things I should be doing my due diligence on? It's not just, is the house livable, but if I am turning this into an investment, right, which a house hack is it going to be able to sustain itself long term, right? So when I do these classes, I have people who are like, well, what if, right? And you're like, don't even go there. Like,
well,
it's not worth it.
With the, I'm not a financial advisor.
Yeah.
I'm not
exactly.
legal
I'm
counsel.
not your lawyer, but I just think as your friend, I want to make sure that you're not calling me 4 months later and saying, hey, I can't pay the whole mortgage anymore. The city caught me. That's not how I like to do business. That's not how I like my clients to be doing business. Is if you have to go in these gray areas, it's not worth it.
It's kind of like short-term rentals. A lot of people are very attracted by
goodness.
the idea of doing a short-term rental. And some people do assume that risk because you just don't get caught. But the question is, if you do get caught, what are you going to do about it? Because real estate, it's a buy and hold game. And, for some people, they do get burnt within the first 6 months. And if you don't have a plan, then you'll be calling your agent again to sell the house.
And it's not like you could just day trade your property.
No.
Like when you get caught, you typically don't have equity. And it's just, there's so many things that you need to be aware of. And the short-term rental one is crazy.
Yeah. On my way here to come film this, I had a client that we did an Airbnb loan for in Florida near Disney World. And he texted me because he wants to buy another house. And I was like, hey, how's that Airbnb going in Florida? And it's a lot of work in all caps. and that's great for some people. I think when you're trying to get into building a real estate portfolio, what do you want?